Did you know that clouds weigh over 1 million pounds? Science Alert says on February 19th, 2015, 1.1 million. That's a lot of weight to hold up down here on the ground. It's funny though, how right when you feel like you can conquer the world, the sky falls on your head. How can the human body hold up all that weight? I have always been afraid of flying, as I'm sure millions of people all around the world are. Probably many of you. But what's different about me? I'm also afraid of boats, even cars sometimes. I like my feet to be firmly planted on the ground, which leaves me little means of transportation. I have dreams of traveling all around the world. Paris is mid the top of my list. I often dream of a luxurious night in the famous Moulin Rouge, but people always ask, how will you get there without flying? I knew eventually I would have to, and that time came. My best friend accomplished the milestone of graduating from college in Washington, but I wasn't going to miss it for the world. So, my mom and I bought tickets and planned the trip. All that was running through my head the entire time was clouds weigh over 1 million pounds. The anxiety of my feet leaving the dirt was terrifying. Even going through security was scary. I had never experienced anything like it. I kept doing things wrong, like not putting my computer in a separate bin, and apparently, at some airports, you keep your shoes on the outside of the bin instead of putting them inside, and they yell at you the entire time like you're supposed to know what you're doing. Luckily, I have the greatest mom ever, and she gave me her window seat. I anticipated what it might feel like to lift off, what it might feel like to land in a few hours. We also had a layover, so I was anxious. What if I didn't like flying and I had to do it all over again? And then again to come home? Maybe this was all just a big mistake. But then, we started to move. My face was plastered to the window. I never knew that a plane could drive just like a car. The pilot came over the intercom and said, "Enjoy the taxi ride." I watched as we maneuvered our way around the airport, making our way to the runway. We took off. I watched the city disappear through the clouds that no longer looked like they weighed over 1 million pounds, clouds that looked weightless. The entire time we were in takeoff, I remember having a smile that was too big for my face. I couldn't make it go away. It was stuck there. I stared out my window a majority of the flight time. The clouds that were once so heavy on the ground now seemed to be so light. And now I was staring at the ground in a variety of different shades. My mom calls it patchwork. The mountains going by as we pass through different states. I learned not to be a tree in that moment, to not grow in one place for the rest of my life and plant my roots there, never moving, never swaying. In that moment, I wanted to see the clouds over as many places as possible. I wanted to be a wanderer. I wanted to make planes a normalcy. In this moment, I wanted to see the world all at once. I wanted to be like the Arctic tern. According to Earth Science on November 18th, 2016, the Arctic tern flies 24,000 miles each year, which is almost equivalent to the distance around the Earth. Can you imagine seeing the world once each year? This is what I got to see because I flew. Bellingham, Washington, where there's Whatcom Falls, Fairhaven, downtown Bellingham, Lummi Island, which has its very own peony farms, and my best friend's house has some very beautiful scenery all on its own. I got to watch my best friend walk the stage and receive her diploma, with a promise that in 2 years she will fly across the nation and watch me receive mine. It had been 10 years since I had seen her last, and now I know my countdown only has a 2 year clock. I will be going back, and I say that with no hesitation or anxiety, even though I hate airport security. I know that no matter where I am traveling, I'll always feel better than when I'm here on the ground, which I never knew I could feel before I tried it. Everyone has something they fear. Everyone has something they don't want to try. Try it. When I'm on the ground, the clouds are over 1 million pounds. When I'm in the air, they're equals to me. They don't seem scary. They don't seem like they're sitting on my shoulders. If you are scared of heights, climb a mountain. If you are scared of dogs, pet a puppy. If you are scared of failure, try. You will never know what you will fall in love with. You will never know what will change your life unless you let it. Fear is only a belief. It can be changed. Believe that you are unstoppable. Challenge your fear. Go the places that you want to go. See the people that you want to see. Do not let anything, especially your fear, stand in your way. Your life should be limitless. I know now, because I flew, that I'm able to fly anywhere. That feeling is unbelievable. I can go anywhere I want, even Paris. I can fly anywhere in the world. And who knows? Maybe I'll try a boat next. If the sky can't stop me, neither should the sea. Remember that fear is only a state of mind. It is only a belief. Something you fear could turn out to be something you appreciate. People always talk about how life is short, but we never realize how short it is until we are faced with the reality that we let fear make most of our decisions. Do not let it. I said earlier that the human body wasn't meant to hold up such an enormous amount of weight. They aren't. Clouds are heavy, but I think I figured out a compromise. You don't have to hold up the clouds. All you have to do is fly over them. Fly over your fears. Conquer them. Do not be a tree.